You are stressing over not having a full-time web design guy or a web content person. Listen, it's not that important. People read these articles. It was more popular a couple of years ago, but it's still around, about content marketing, about how you've got to constantly update your content in order to maintain your ranking at Google. It's nonsense. Here's what you need to do with your website. Your website, you can have a website as simple as basically like 5 or 6 pages. It doesn't have to be a huge, gigantic website. Keep in mind, the purpose of your website should be to sell and nothing else, not to educate, not to teach, not to show them, all this cool stuff you can do with videos and stuff. The purpose of your website should be to do one thing: get them to pick up the phone or fill out their contact information, for example, if it's in the middle of the night, so that you can call them back and book or sell them on a consultation, so that you can then sell them on your training programs. It shouldn't be any more than that. And as far as design goes, your web design should only be as good as it needs to be to convey that you are a professional business, that you're not just some hack running your company out of your backyard, even if you are. So you can accomplish this. You can go to a website called Upwork, which is basically like a freelance website where you can hire people to help you build out a website. But you really shouldn't spend a whole lot of money on this. I mean, you can really get a very competent, very good website design for around $300. So it doesn't have to be a huge investment. Typically, I do recommend that you set up a website on WordPress, which is free. You can learn about how to do basic WordPress design in like a Sunday afternoon. It's not a big deal. The most important thing, though, is not the design of your website. The most important thing is the copy. What's copy? Copy is basically persuasive text. I would choose 10 out of 10 times a website that has poor design with great copy versus a website with great design but poor copy, because great design does not sell. It does not get people to pick up the phone and contact you. Good copy does. So the issue with good copy is that if you don't know how to write good copy, you've got one of two options. Either you can hire a professional copywriter. The problem is that the guys who are really good are expensive. Your second option, if you're starting out and you don't have a lot of funds available, is to learn how to write some basic copy yourself. And so I've got a couple of books I wanted to share with you. If you guys have been following me, you know about this book. It's called Cash Advertising by Drew Eric Whitman. You can get this on Amazon for about $11. Highly recommended. Another good one is The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy. Great book. And then to understand more of the psychology of how people think, what motivates them to take action, you got to read this book, The Psychology of Influence by Robert Cialdini. I got this copy used for $3.99. I've owned about 10 copies of this book, and they all end up disappearing because my friends and business associates end up stealing them from me. But great books that will have you just 100 miles ahead of most of your competition. Probably the worst thing you can do is you can look at what everybody else in your marketplace is doing and just straight out copy what everybody else is doing. Because what happens is people go to Google, they do a search, they go down and they look at the top 5 or 6 websites, and they all look the same. What happens is you basically become a commodity. So the mistakes that people are making with their websites is that they're trying to add all this content and video and all this other stuff. It takes away from the sales process. Now, I'm not saying don't write articles. Articles are good. Don't have them on your homepage and don't have a link to them. Have them on your website, and with WordPress this is really easy. You just create a post, but don't have them showing anywhere, but continue to have them available to the search engines. So the search engines can spider them, so you're going to get SEO benefit from that. But it's not going to detract from the sales process or the selling power of your website. Now, the other good thing about articles, which is really the way that you should do content marketing, is give those articles away to other friends in the industry or to other related businesses to help beef up their websites, or especially if their websites are already big, you have them publish your article. Your article has links back to your site. It establishes credibility for you, and it sends you more traffic. And so then they come to your site. Remember, your site is designed to sell. And so they hit your site, and pretty soon they're picking up the phone and calling you. So again, you don't need a full-time web design person or internet marketing person to manage your website. You can use a management company to manage your AdWords or to manage your whatever other online advertising you're doing. That's all good, but you don't need a web, what's the term I'm looking for? A webmaster, so to speak. It's really just not necessary. You can put up a site today and really not touch that site for the next 2 to 3 years. It'll be perfectly fine. It'll work great. Now, you want to be able to send traffic to that site. You want to be able to test the copy to make sure that the copy is actually converting and getting you calls. But once that site is set up and once it's been tested and once it's working really well, you're good to go. Focus your efforts in other places. Now, the question comes up, what about like YouTube, for example? What about doing videos so that I can show off my work? Shouldn't I put that on my website? No, you put that on your YouTube channel. They go to YouTube to scroll around. They happen to see one of your videos. They watch your video. They say, hey, this guy looks really cool. Let me find out more. In the video description, it has a link to your website. What happens? They click that link. They go to your website. Are they lost on your website with more content, with hundreds of articles and other videos and all kinds of other stuff? No. All the website does is it convinces them to pick up the phone and call. Does this make sense? Hopefully it's making sense. If not, post in the comments below and I'll try and answer your questions. Hey, if you're not doing Google AdWords and you have a dog training company, it is an amazing, amazing tool to get more leads. The problem is that it's super complicated, and staying on top of all of the strategies and tactics that really work to get people to click on your ad is a full-time job. That's what we do. We have a Google AdWords management company, and we have at this point I think close to 35, 36 dog trainers, somewhere in that ballpark, that we manage the campaigns for, and typically see between a 5 to 11 times return on investment. If that sounds good to you, get in touch with me at Browning Direct, BROWNINGDIRECT, browningdirect.com, and schedule a free consultation, and we'll talk and see if AdWords might be right for helping you grow your dog training business. Take care, guys.